Okay, boys and girls, so if you want to create the sky and the background of your dove, you're going to paint the outside of the dove with the blue watercolor. If you want to paint if you want the dove to have the sky and the clouds inside of it, like Rene Magritte's painting, The Return, then you're going to paint the inside of the dove. So you have to decide which look you're going for. So in order to paint using the watercolor, you want to dip your paint in the water and then into the paint and then neatly outline your dove. Now, one of the things that I like to do, now remember the sky is pretty much horizontal, so you don't really want to have brush strokes going from north to south, up and down, vertical. You want to have them kind of horizontal. So after you outline your dove and you were looking for a nice sky color, so it's okay if you have the brush strokes available. It's just that you want to keep going back and forth into your paint and blending quickly, because if the paper dries too fast, you're not going to be able to blend. So you want to do one section at a time, and one of the things that you can see that's happening here is the paper is bending a little bit. And that's okay because the water is going on so quickly, the paint is going on so quickly that the painting is bending, but eventually it's going to dry flat because it's just absorbing it it's not absorbing it fast enough. So one of the things that you're going to notice here, and I'm going to try not to do as much, but use the hand that you're not painting with to hold the painting still, especially when you want to do the outlining area. So as you can see, I'm not outlining the whole dove and then painting it. I'm outlining a section, and then I'm painting in that section so as to not let that area dry. And also I'm using my hand that I'm not painting with to hold the painting still. And as you can see, I'm also putting my hand inside the dove so I don't get it dirty. Eventually, you're going to have to rotate your painting around. And when I paint, I like to stand up because I just have easier access to the different parts of the painting. If you hold the paper at a 90-degree angle, you can paint vertically. And you do want to do this quickly so it dries pretty evenly. And you want to make sure that all of the area of your painting is covered. You don't really want to have any white spots, okay? So take your time, but hurry up. That's one of my dad's famous sayings. Take your time, but hurry up, which means just concentrate on what you're doing. Do a neat job, but just try to focus. Use the tip of the brush. Use the tip of the brush to outline your shapes, and then make sure you're painting still in the same direction. And if it just so happens that you get some kind of paint inside your dove, you can blot it with a paper towel. And as you can see, I'm using you definitely want to have your background paper here. And I'm turning this dove upside down still so I could get to the area that's dry. And you just want to go back and forth, and you really want to have a nice like sky blue. Also, when you get to those hard to reach areas, use the tip of the brush. And then you can spread out the paint. If you have too much water on your brush, just use this side area. If you have the background paper is best. And as you can see, my watercolor paint it doesn't look like I have a lot, but I have plenty to do this painting and the next one. So use less water, more paint. Try to make your blue even. And I'll just rotate this around here. If you have some areas where it looks a little bit lighter than others, you can just go back and rework it. But next week we're going to be adding the clouds on top with either tempera or acrylic paint, whatever paint that is available. And it doesn't matter that there's some areas that aren't as even as others. Use your finger to hold it still. We're really just looking for a nice sunny sky kind of feel. So just the basic idea is that you want to cover it all with a nice blue. It doesn't have to be totally even, but you want to definitely cover up those white spots. And you want all the brush strokes to go. You want all the brush strokes to go in the same direction. And again, you have to act quickly. You can see I'm using my hand in the middle to hold it still. And next week we will do the clouds. So let me show you what it will look like if you're going to do the painting inside the dove. And again, you just want to rework it really quickly if you want to blend a little bit more. You just want to make sure that your painting is wet. Once it dries, it's hard to blend it a little bit. Okay, so there we have that version. We'll put that aside for now. And now I'm going to paint this one on the inside. So if you want to really make it look like Magritte's Return, you're going to paint the sky inside the dove. And basically use your hand, same idea, use your hand to hold the painting still. And you also want to try to paint in the same direction as the shape of the dove. So if it's facing towards the right, then you want to paint towards the right. You want to just make sure that you lean on the paper and bring the paint with you. Don't just try to cover a large area. You want to do one area at a time thoroughly. Better to do it thoroughly and evenly rather than fast and come back and have it be splotchy. Okay, so the water you can keep spreading it around with the paint. So this is what we're going to do with this look, is going to make it look like the Surrealist painting, The Return, from Rene Magritte. And it's almost like the dove, which is a symbol of peace, is a window into the world, a surrealistic window into the world. And after you're done painting inside your dove, again, I'm going back and forth with the watercolor paint in the water. Next week, you're going to paint the clouds, and the week after that, whatever, if you did the background white, you're gonna paint it in using warm colors, and you're gonna blend with watercolor paint using warm colors. Or if you painted the background like in the first one that I did, you are going to paint the inside of the dove with warm colors. You're just going to do the opposite. So it's up to you how you want to do this project. You can either paint inside your dove and make the sky inside, like the Surrealist painting, or you can paint the background so that the inside is like this. But keep in mind, if you do it this way, the background is going to have those really nice warm colors. So it's almost like a kind of like a sunset sky. The reverse is more like a sunset feel inside the dove. And the watercolor paint, no matter what, it's a sunset. But you get the idea. You want to do the inside of the dove or the outside of the dove. It's up to you. So again, I'm just kind of working focused but quickly so you could get that blending in. And I'm leaning my hands on the paper so that I can have more control of the brush. And I'm rotating the painting to get to the areas that might have been, I might have missed out on. So I'm leaning to have control, and then I'm just reworking quickly some areas that just to make it a little bit more even. So this looks like nice and shiny and bright. And next week we will paint the clouds inside the dove or outside the dove. That is up to you. So your final result, and I'll just get that out later, is you can either have paint inside your dove or outside your dove. This or this. That or that. All right, boys and girls, have fun.